Hey guys, it's Robin. I am outside the theater. I'm here really early and it is freezing and I'm about to go see Rogue One. I'll be back after the movie to let you guys know how it went. I'm so excited. Hey guys, so Rogue One. Here's Jyn Erso. I got back from the movie last night and I was going to film my review then, but I just had no words. I was just stunned and awed by the movie. I really liked it. I give it 2 really big thumbs up. So I'm gonna talk about the movie, and then at the end I'm gonna do spoilers, and there'll be a big spoiler warning before I talk about anything spoilery. Okay? Because there's just so much stuff that was awesome in this movie that I need to talk about it. Okay. So some of the things I really liked about it, the worlds that they visit in this movie. There's a bunch of different worlds. I thought they looked amazing, and we're entrenched in that used universe that episodes 1, 2, 3, the worlds are a lot more polished and clean before things start going south after the Empire takes over. And then you see in episodes 4, 5, and 6, things are starting to look broken down, and that's kind of how things are starting to look in this movie. And it really fit that well. I thought they recreated that amazingly. And I just thought the world, there were so many different kinds of worlds. Jeddah was like a desert kind of planet where the Jedi temple was once based. And this stuff is like deep canon stuff. Like these 2 characters, Chirrut and his buddy Baze, are guardians of the Wills, which is like a really deep reference to the founding of the Jedi Order that goes way back to George Lucas's early notes. There's this really great book I read called How Star Wars Conquers the Universe, and it talks about a lot of that stuff. So that's why I know about this. And I think they touched a little bit about it at the end of Clone Wars, the episodes they did on Netflix. So this is really nerd stuff. But I thought that was really cool that they were bringing in those kinds of references. There's no Jedis in this movie. I mean, there is Darth Vader. That is not a spoiler. He's been in the trailers and everything. But there's no Jedis. There's talk of Jedis. There's talk of the Force. But there aren't really people using the Force necessarily. I think the Force is present. And I think there are a couple moments, maybe I'll talk about later, where the Force is being used. But for the most part, it's very different. It's about people. And I thought that was pretty cool. And there's lots of really cool creatures. And there's a couple of really cute characters that make appearances in the background, especially on Jeddah, as part of Saw Gerrera's team. Saw Gerrera, what a cool character. He's played by Forrest Whitaker. And he was actually a character in the Clone Wars cartoons as well. He had an arc on Onderon where I think Anakin and Ahsoka go and train his team in their fight against maybe the Separatists. It's been a while, but it's cool that they brought a character from the Clone Wars cartoon series and made him a person. And he is actually this guy. He's like a rebel, but a really extreme rebel who raised Jyn Erso. Jyn has been on her own or for a very long time. Her father, Galen, was captured kind of by Orson Krennic to go work on the Death Star and to refine that weapon. He is a kyber crystal specialist, and I know way too much about this now as well because I finished the book Catalyst like 30 minutes before I went to the movies. The Catalyst is really good if you want to know more about Orson Krennic and Galen Erso and Lyra and Jyn's origins. It's a very interesting story. It's written by, oh my goodness, what is his name? James Lucerno, who also wrote Plagueis, and he wrote Tarkin. And Tarkin is also in the book, and he's in the movie. I'm sorry, I don't think that's a spoiler either. The actor who plays Tarkin has been dead for quite some time, so they CGI'd him. And I heard one review where they said he looked very Polar Express-like, but I thought it was kind of cool. I didn't think he looked that creepy at all, and I thought it was interesting. I mean, I would have preferred if they recast him and just had a different actor. I would have been able to suspend my disbelief and just go with it, but it's okay. It was different, but I think it just opens some really weird precedents for dead actors in movies. I thought the characters were very interesting and cool. So Jyn is out on her own for a really long time. We meet her, she's imprisoned, and she's rescued by the rebels who need her to go find Saw. and that's kind of where things start. But as they go along, they assemble this really cool team. One of the people, hello Penny, who helps her. Oh, look at Penny. She's so cute. She meets Cassie and Andor, and they also come across this guy who is awesome, Chirrut Imwe, and his companion, Baze Malbus, who are such awesome dudes. Chirrut he's like a guardian of the wills, like I said, and he believes in the Force, and he reminds me like of a little kid who like is playing Star Wars, because he just sits there and he's like, I am with the Force is with me, and he just says it over and over again, like he's expecting the Force, like I do sometimes when I want something across the room to move, like he's expecting something to happen, and it's really cute, and I think lovable, and I think he has some really good lines, but his fighting is amazing, and his skills are amazing, and Baze has these really cool weapons. He's got this cool like backpacky thing, and you can just, oh, they're a cool team. You definitely want them on your team if you're going on a mission to find out what's going on with the Death Star. It's very cool. So that's pretty much what's happening. The whole plot of the movie, this is the team that finds the plans about the Death Star that leads to Star Wars A New Hope. I don't think that's a spoiler either. Chirrut Imwe, definitely one of my favorites. One of my other favorites. I knew he was going to be K-2S0. He was just so funny. He almost reminds me of like Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy, who just kind of says what he thinks, and it's very like Cassian says it's part of his programming glitch because he's a reprogrammed Imperial droid, so he just kind of says what he thinks, and he doesn't really his sense of humor is really off, and I just thought he was great, and I just really love this character. I thought he was a great one, and he, you know, is up there with all my other favorite droids. I love the droids. They're awesome. Chirrut is cool. Krennic is a really interesting character because he's trying to get, he wants to be in charge of the Death Star, but he's up against Tarkin, who's also vying for power, and the two of them are playing off Vader and the Emperor and trying to really take charge. And they have these pesky rebels getting in their way, and it's really cool. And Krennic also has this really cool team of Death Troopers, I think they're called, will hang out with him. Are they Death Troopers or Stormtroopers? And they're in like these chrome suits. They're really shiny. They're almost like Captain Phasma. They're not in that black, but it's like a deep metallic gray. Not as shiny chrome as her. But I thought that was interesting. And then you have all these cool Scarif Stormtroopers. The world of Scarif, where the big battle is going to play out, is amazing. And there's a lot of fighting. I wouldn't say this is not like a happy, fun movie like a lot of Star Wars. I mean, there is a lot of darkness in Star Wars, but I feel like this one is a lot darker. It's a lot heavier. It is a war movie. There's a lot of fighting, a lot of battling going on. You're in the war, like there's a lot of handheld camera action going on in these battle scenes. So I don't know if this is a really good one for little kids. You might want to see it first, parents, and then take your kids if you think it's okay. But like I said, it's just not as like kid friendly necessarily as some of the other ones. Like, it doesn't have a lot of wacky sidekicks or funny droids running around like BB-8 or R2 or Chewbacca or any of them. It is a little, it's very serious and intense. Intense is a word I heard a lot of people say too. It definitely sat there and, you know, I was literally like biting my nails for a good part of the movie. I thought it was great though, a great addition to the Star Wars canon, and I'm just so impressed. I really want to see it again already because I'm sure there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of awesome cameos, like I said, great worlds, great creatures, great effects. You know, you don't have the scroll in the beginning, but it does start out with some of the typical Star Wars things, like it starts out in space, like all Star Wars movies do, and it says, you know, a long time ago in a galaxy far, you know, it has that part, but it doesn't have the scroll, but it's still pretty cool. Oh, and the score is also excellent. John Williams did not do the score, but his music is in it. Michael Giacchino, is that how you say it? He's a great composer. I've loved him since he was doing the music for Lost, and I think it was really, really great. It really fit well, and it fit in with the Star Wars. Like, it definitely had the familiarity of the Star Wars score, but it had its own feel to it too. I really enjoyed that. And Yeah, so excited. Battle alert, battle alert, battle alert, battle alert. This is your warning. If you don't want any spoilers, stop watching now. You can comment and let me know what you think of stuff and all that now. But here on out, spoilers. So spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. Here are some things I want to talk about. So I really loved all the cameos. I was surprised Jimmy Smits was in this movie. I only just found out right before I watched it because I looked it up on IMDb and I was like, what? So yeah, Bail Organa is one of the cameos. He's a little bit of a part. You also have Mon Mothma, and like I said before, you have Tarkin, Vader. Some awesome, awesome cameos. I really, really like that about the movie. Just little nods to Star Wars. There was also a scene that I thought was a nod to Fellowship of the Rings, and that's when Baze is fighting, and it's his final scene, and he's like saying, I am, he's picking up Chirrut's line, and he's saying, I am with the Force, and he's like getting shot, and he's still fighting, and I was like, that is totally Boromir. It's like the same death scene. It was crazy. So, the thing that really got me, and why I was crying all night long, is because I kind of thought the way it would go is how it would go, but I wasn't expecting it to be so intense, and it just, one by one, the losses were so, like, you just got to meet all these characters, and you believe in them, and you're fighting for the, you want them to win and succeed, and they're going to succeed, because you know what's going to happen in the next movies, but it's just so heartbreaking to see them go. Just thinking about this, I'm getting upset. Like, one by one, these amazing moments where these heroes who each kind of prove themselves along the way, just their demise, it just really hurt. I was just like that whole, I'm just glad I was sitting there in the dark with my 3D glasses on, because I was crying so much. I'm like, I just met you all. I mean, K-2S0, that just killed me. And Chirrut, and then, like I said, Baze, like, going out like Boromir. I just was like, oh my gosh. And then that scene, just all of them. They all, even Orson Krennic, I thought he might have had a moment of redemption for a minute. Like, maybe he was going to be the one to hit the button, but he didn't. And, no, he just went out like the rest. And that was unbelievable and totally unprecedented for a Star Wars movie, but so bold and awesome. And it just makes so much sense, because you don't ever meet these guys later on, right? Yeah, so sad. It really, really, just struck me as, just the bravery and courage of these characters facing, all this danger and saving the universe is what they end up doing, and it's amazing to me. I thought that was very cool. And I had some theory. I thought maybe Jyn might be sticking around. Maybe we'd meet her later. But no. I'm really sad about that, you guys. I am really, really sad about that. I'm hoping maybe Marvel will do some comics where we get to see some of her adventures. I'm really sad about that. And like I said, these guys are all so cool and have all these pops now. And yeah, I'm glad I do, because I think they're amazing characters, and he's upside down. But I definitely felt their loss, even though like I said, I just met them. And I met some of them a little earlier on from reading the book. I mentioned before a little bit about Tarkin being weird, but the really weird thing to me was the ending. Like, couldn't they have just shown the ending? Like, they hand the disc off, and you see somebody in white, and then it's just a silent moment, and boom, you're done. You know who it is. Did they really need to turn around and show her face in the creepy CG thing? That just really, I would have been happy just with a silent moment, just kind of like the end of Force Awakens. I thought that would have been really cool. And I also thought it was weird that Vader made a joke while he was like doing the Force choke thing on Krennic. Like, did that really need to happen? Oh, and how cool was that Vader? That Vader scene where he was in his like lair or whatever you want to call it. I don't know, with the lava. Oh, that was so terrifying. I don't know what it was. even though he was like in that Bacta tank or whatever it was. Oh my gosh, it was just like terrifying. Something about it. And then you just see Vader coming out. That was a great shot of Vader coming out. And then him coming on the plane. Oh, on the later on at the end. Oh, you know, I was reading somewhere that you know, if Vader's coming at you, you run. Just run. Just go. I think it was an interview with Dave Filoni. It's like, Vader's in the room, run. There's not many people, maybe Yoda, in the universe who can take on Vader. Did you guys see Rogue One yet? Comment down below. Let me know. Maybe if you're going to post something in the comments, mark it that they're spoilers so that other people won't be spoiled by them. But let me know what you liked about it or didn't like about it. Like I said, I just thought it was really, really great. Gareth Edwards, I think he did a great job. I think he also wrote the movie and directed it. And it just really felt like a really great... It reminded me a lot of Saving Private Ryan. The battle action, the fact that everybody dies. Yeah, it really, and that movie made me cry a lot too. So, like I said, I cannot wait to see more of this, and I'm just so heartbroken over all the losses and the sacrifices that this team made. They just went out there and knew they had to do something and take a stand. I think that's it's almost inspiring, but it's sad. R.I.P. Jyn Erso and company. Rogue One. Yeah, so let me know what you thought of Rogue One. I hope that you guys will like this video and subscribe and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, right, Penny? Thanks so much for watching, and may the Force be with you. Bye!